Live from clickorlando.com, this is News 6 at 5:30. This is a News 6 Plus takeover. Here now is Matt Austin and Ginger Gadsden with Florida's Fourth Estate.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Florida's Fourth Estate, Home Sweet Home. I thought it was appropriate that we do something on housing because when people hear Florida's Fourth Estate, they think we're a real estate show anyway. They don't know what they think it's real estate instead of Fourth Estate. So, hey, we're going to fulfill all of that today. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
Surprise! We really are a real estate show today. Glad you're with us. I'm Matt Austin, and we had this idea. Really, Ginger had the idea, to give her full credit, which she deserves. We wanted to hear about the places that we could never live, but sort of the real estate that's out there that we never could afford, like the most expensive properties in Florida. So I called a buddy of mine. His name's Tony Galarza. He works for the Weimer Group, and he sent me back a list in like 3 minutes. And I said, hey, let's do this podcast. Tony Galarza, welcome to Florida's Fourth Estate again.
Guys, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, it's our pleasure. Okay, so are you surprised when you pulled this up? I know when you sent me the list, I was like, say what? Like, you're thinking expensive houses at home, I'm sure. These ones are way more expensive than you should be thinking, right, Tony?
Matt, let's be real. So when we say expensive, we're thinking $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, right? But these are approaching hundreds of millions. So to say the least, I was shocked. Wait till you see them. I have to start off with the property close to home. Windermere is our backyard. Mm-hmm. Even though there's properties that are absolutely amazing and huge and higher priced, it's still Windermere. So let's talk about it. 9508 Windy Ridge Road. Now, this property was built in 2011. Mm-hmm. It's on 18 acres, lakefront property on Lake Down of Butler Chain of Lakes. So you can't get better than that, right?
It's beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. Now, it's just shy of 50,000 square foot in total living space. What? So it's huge. I don't know what you could do with that, but it's huge.
Is that counting
7 bedrooms?
Outdoors? Is that all?
No. This is all indoors. Now, it includes the garage, which most of the time it doesn't include the garage, but it is under air. So it actually is included.
Oh, okay.
So 7 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms. And by the way, the garage is 4,000 square foot. 50 cars can fit in this thing.
What?
It's amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
Did you say 50 cars?
50 cars. The owner actually has a 50 car collection in it currently.
Wow. Do you know how much it would cost to air condition a 50 car garage?
No, I don't.
I don't want that bill. I don't at all. Now, the good news is you can get this beautiful property for only $30 million.
Oh,
wow.
Very affordable.
And that, believe it or not, is a pittance compared to the rest of the list that we're going to be talking about.
It really is.
It's a drop in the bucket. Absolutely.
30 million. Okay. So my question is, when you get that kind of house, like say, for example, I can't afford that, right? Let's just be real. That's why I wanted to.
We'd be having to talk about your contract situation.
So, but I've looked at it on Zillow, and I was seeing how many people have already looked at it. Can I just call the realtor and say, hey, can you take me on a tour? Or will they say, yeah, but let us see your W-2. Let's prove that you can actually afford this. What's the deal?
They're going to want to see it all. They're going to want to see it all. Absolutely.
Not
one of these.
You're going to have to strip down naked.
Pretty much.
See everything.
Oh my God.
They're going to want to see every proof of funds you have. They're going to really make sure you can afford it before you can see it.
Because the houses I can't afford, they have an open house sign, and I just walk right in.
Mm-hmm. Not this kind.
I think this might be my favorite of the houses on the list. Like if you were going to twist my arm and make me move into one for free, this would probably be the one.
Well, you got to first be able to pronounce the town it's in. But with that being said, it's at 1000 South Ocean Boulevard in Manalapan, Florida. Now that's just right in there in Palm Beach area. It's on 2.5 acres, beachfront and lakefront. So back from where we're from, Lake Worth area, it's actually it borders both. So
Tony and I went to high school together,
square
by the
foot.
way. That's why he says
yes,
where we're from. We've known each other a really long time. And so did you say it's on a lake and the ocean? Like that's just kind of showing off, right?
Yeah. Backyards to the ocean, front yards to the lake.
Wow.
You can't beat that.
And I love
17,000. Yep.
the way this is put together. Like inside is very tastefully done. This one, some of these on the list are like kind of old money. This one is brand new, baby.
What I loved about this, the town that I can't pronounce, Manalapan. What is that?
Manalapan. That's
okay.
It. Mm-hmm.
There are only 418 people who live in that town, according to Wikipedia. Most of them could live in this house. They could all just share the mortgage.
I can bet all of them would. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, together. They'd have to afford that. I'd need other roommates in there. That's
so Tony,
crazy.
Give us the price on this butte.
All right. Well, this one can be yours for $106 million.
Oh, baby.
All right.
Also, according to Zillow, if you were able to get a mortgage for this house, it would be $651,000 a month.
Yep.
Look at them.
These are people who don't have to worry about anything, right? And what I love is that when they name the amenities, central air. I mean, you think?
Don't worry, guys. We've got air
we got
and this old girl. Oh my gosh. Tony, we're gonna hit
number 3.
North, similar area, North Palm Beach, Florida.
Yeah, as you could tell, there's a trend. We're kind of heading south on each one of them. So this one, this was 12210 Banyan Road in North Palm Beach, built in 1998. It's a little bit older, but it sits on over 6.5 acres. Now it says it's currently on one of the largest oceanfront properties on the market in South Florida. You'll notice that the next one we go to is actually on the largest oceanfront property, but 15,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms. It's amazing.
What is the trend with houses having more bathrooms than bedrooms?
Well, I mean, if you walk around the place long enough, you're going to have to stop and use the restroom. That's what I assume.
You're such a salesman. Come on. I mean, we can only be so many times a day, Tony. Right.
Well, it's just a tick up from the last one. But yes, this one is priced at a whopping $145 million.
All right. How about we move even farther south to Miami Beach, Florida, my friend?
Miami Beach, Florida. So number 2 on the list, 18 La Gorge Circle in Miami Beach. Now, this is an historic property built in 1936. It's on about 2.5 acres, 12 bedrooms. And are you ready for this, Ginger? 25 bathrooms. 25.
Twice as many bathrooms as bedrooms.
Correct. Well, this one also does have 125,000 square feet of living space. Now it's built across multiple different buildings, but I mean the views of Biscayne, the Miami skyline. I mean it'll just blow your mind away.
I like how Ginger's more offended by the number of bathrooms than anything else we're talking about right now.
I mean, okay, I'm from a family of 15. We had 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, and we made it work. So when I
shared one between everybody, was it like mom and dad and the kids all just had one?
What? 1? I don't know how else to put that. 1 bathroom. That's it. I mean,
my kids would lose their mind.
I would lose my mind. I'd kill my kid.
I mean,
we're taking you to Palm Beach, Florida, our hometown. So it's 10 Tarpon Isle, again in Palm Beach, Florida. Now, this is truly a masterpiece. So it sits on an island. It's what they call a legacy estate. It's on 2 acres, has 360-degree view of water.
It was a tear down, and now it's this. Okay. So you know how we price per square foot, and you get into like a couple of $100. What's this one going for?
This is $10,000 a square foot. I mean, we're looking at $180 a square foot properties, and this one.
I'll take 3 feet.
Say somebody came in and say some super wealthy client of yours came in, serious buyer, and they wanted to come in at an initial offer. They're not going to come in at 218. What do you think they'd come in at? What'd you do?
I mean, 175. I mean, maybe, but to be honest with you, I mean, this is a once in a lifetime. Somebody who wants this is going to pay for it.
What are you selling this property? You're on my side.
I mean, just trying to be honest. These people with this type of money, they tend to not really bat an eye at it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So can I ask you a question? Because I know, you guys work on commission, right? You get a healthy, is it called commission? Is it called something else these days?
It is called commission, yeah.
Okay. So you sell something like this for asking. What are we looking at? Well, are you retiring after that?
Oh, retiring.
No. What's happening?
I'm buying Channel 6 News. Yes. You're looking at, somewhere along the lines of $6 million in commission.
That's
wow.
nice.
That's a sweet, sweet chunk of change.
Yeah,
not
it's
change.
A lot. It's a lot.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Tony
Okay.
Galarza, you're taking me to dinner the next time we go, huh?
Yeah, you're
You
buying
buy
lunch.
this? Absolutely, I would buy lunch.
Tony Galarza, the Weimert Group. If you want to look him up, he sells a lot of real estate in Central Florida, and we appreciate your time and your expertise on this, my friend.
Thanks, Tony.
Stay with us as we strip down and check out another reason people are excited about calling Florida home. We're talking about the $4 billion nude recreation industry. Stay with us.
Well, it turns out one of the perks of having a beautiful state with a lot of sunshine is people want to come and visit. And some of those people want to come visit naked, no clothes. And there's a variety of ways to do so. It turns out it's a $4 billion business, and we are talking about it today on Florida's Fourth Estate, aren't we, Ginger?
Yeah, we certainly are, Matt. And the perfect person to do this is Erich Schuttauf with the American Association for Nude Recreation, which I didn't know that was a thing. But when you say something makes $4 billion, it is definitely a thing. So what I'm hoping will happen today is that we're just going to put our cards all on the table, just lay it all out there. And
we're putting our clothes on the table, actually.
And get people comfortable and having them recognize oh, this is really something that is maybe interesting for a lot of people who never heard about it. I know I thought I was going to get the giggles when we spoke with him the very first time. And I'm like, I walked away. I learned so much from that conversation. Erich, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you being here.
We're delighted to be here this afternoon with you. And I'll tell you that we welcome questions from everyone. We understand people have questions about nude recreation. We're always happy to answer them. So it's great. But there's a lot of things that people want to know, like what could I expect on the first visit to a nude beach or a nudist resort? What are some of the do's and don'ts perhaps on a visit? People also want to know, why do you enjoy doing this, right? And that's probably the most common question I get. It's a perfectly natural question. And if you've ever walked down on the beach barefoot, then you know that the feeling of being barefoot, well, this is just barefoot all over. And that's why it's so fun to do.
I get laying out in your backyard naked. I could see some fun. I could see some enjoyment in that. Sorry to my neighbors, but yeah, it could. But being around the other people, that feels like the part where things get weird and you're just over analyzing. Am I in shape enough? Did I wax enough? Am I tan enough?
You're making it weird.
It is. Well, that's I'm trying to get you into my head with all of this. It feels weird to me.
Actually, the nudity becomes a great equalizer. We often say you don't know a bank president from a bus driver and everything else. Every person is a beautiful person, and we're just a little bit more equal when we're in our birthday suits.
I would want to know that I'm not next to someone who's just there as a creeper. Do the clubs do a deep dive into people's backgrounds?
The answer is yes. Our clubs do have a number of procedures that they follow. Again, a good reason to call the club ahead of time, but also they will have some forms and identifications and procedures that they will follow. Yeah. And they'll let you know about what those are, because again, we want a comfortable, nurturing guest experience for your first visit or your 50th visit.
You've had 4 kids who have grown up around this whole situation. There are going to be people out there who say, that's a little much for me. I don't think naked kids should be around naked adults they don't know. What do you say for folks who are a little creeped out by that aspect of things?
Well, the first thing I would say is that there are different clubs within AANR. We have about 200 of them in the United States, Canada, and beyond. So there's a lot of clubs to choose from.
But I feel like as Americans, we are really hung up on our bodies. And I have friends who are from Europe and they just don't have the same hangups as we do. Do you think that's part of it?
I will say, if more people embrace nude recreation or could be comfortable with body acceptance, it would contribute to health and better health and wellness. And a good example is how many people put off going to the doctor and having important health screenings, things like the breast exam or other medical procedures, because they're not as comfortable with their body.
I know so many people these days who are so hung up on every little piece of their body. They're covered with Botox and fillers and implants. They spend tens of thousands of dollars to try to get themselves to look just the way they want to look. I kind of have some respect for somebody who's like, you know what?
I'm going to let it all hang out.
This is me, baby. Drink it in. If you don't, then you don't have to play volleyball with me. So I get it. Now I'm not showing up to a resort. That's not my thing, but I totally respect and I get that mindset of like, this is it. This is me. Ginger, are you you feel that way?
I'm super shy, so I probably am not going to go, but I'm not going to judge anyone else for going, especially when you talk about the health aspect. That's something I had not even really considered. And I think that, if some people are like, oh, I have to lose weight before I even go see a doctor. No, go now, go as you are. That's the best way to do it. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because that, it makes a whole lot of sense.
It is. It contributes to better health. And it's just, the other thing to recognize is that no one is a perfect 10 within a nudist environment. People are who they are, and it's who you are on the inside that people quickly come to respect and appreciate who you are on the inside.
And that is one thing you will hear people say. They'll say, if I go to a nudist resort,
don't say it.
Nobody there is a supermodel, right? Like, so I don't even know how to ask this question, but I'm asking it anyway. So like when you go to, are there people there who look like they're like coming from South Beach, or is this mostly like, take me into the demographics. Is it 55 and older most of the time, or are we talking about people with six packs and, flat stomachs?
First of all, what you're going to find is it's people from all walks of life, from the grandparents with the toddler, grandchild in tow, to college students and everybody on in between. So people from all walks of life, including those of us who could stand to lose a few pounds, because it's a cross section of culture. What we do tend to find in resorts or higher end travel, yes, it does tend to be a little bit older, a little bit more along financially, yes, and some of the higher end travel, because they have the means to travel. But we got folks that go and enjoy tent camping in a quiet retreat, and those tend to be your college students who are part of a volleyball tournament, or so it really is a cross section of culture throughout.
That's such a great answer, because I'm going to be the person to say it. Matt, that was a shallow question. He wanted to know if there was a hot or not hot section.
Why do you think I'm here, Ginger, to ask the shallow questions?
But that was a perfect answer.
You were wondering. You wanted to know.
Yeah.
Now we all know.
So, well, Erich, I think you're a great representative of this.
Absolutely.
Even though it's something we may not all, like you said, it's not for everybody, but I always find it interesting to learn more about why people do this, especially if we're talking about millions of people here. Why do they do it? It seems so foreign to me. I don't understand it, but you really do give a good glimpse into that. Mm-hmm. I appreciate your take. I appreciate the fact that not only did you wear clothes, you wore a full long sleeve shirt and a tie. Like might as well have a parka on right now. So I know that that's not easy for you. I appreciate that, my friend.
Sure thing. And I can't stop being a lawyer totally. So that was welcome as well.
Exactly.
But Matt and Ginger, we hope at some point you could come and join us at a resort and we could see more of you.
I mean, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a showstopper right there. Thank you for watching Florida's Fourth Estate. You can download it from wherever you listen to podcasts or watch anytime on News 6 Plus.